Some people can't see the future because it doesn't look like their past. This is a story of a woman who had a vision long before applause ever came about. But she didn't wait for belief. She built it into reality. I'm super excited to be talking with you, Rachel. Tell everybody, take me back to the moment that when you first started. Like, what was that moment? Take me back to you putting the flyers out. You saying, I'm going to walk in. This is my moment. This is my audacious moment.
Yeah, so I had gotten hired to work for a startup med spa that didn't know what the heck they were doing, but happened to buy a laser that was safe for deeper skin tones. And they didn't even know they bought this type of laser. I was being paid like $12 an hour, no marketing budget, nobody walking through the door. And so I had done the laser hair removal on my bikini line that had a lot of ingrown hairs, saw tremendous results. And then I had a male friend who had severe ingrown hairs on his neck. And so did his service, took an amazing before and after picture, and was like, I need some clients. Where are all the men with ingrown hairs? Like, these pictures are mind blowing. So I decided to create a before and after flyer and walk into every barber shop in Charlotte and started getting some clients. And so my boss was like, okay, I see this girl is a little bit more than just your average new esthetician. You know, I'm willing to give you a couple $1,000s for marketing. What would you do? And I was like, I see all these like laser hair removal ads on like the top 40 channel, but nobody's really targeting like the melanin rich client. We have like a laser for it. So I wrote my own commercial, went to the radio station, wrote it out, and it started with, are you tired of plucking annoying chin hairs? Are your ingrown hairs leaving dark spots behind? And then just like the phone started just like blowing up. And I was like, you know what? I think I really have something here that could really like make a difference in Charlotte.
Wow. And from that moment, right, you on someone else's dime in some types of, in a lot of ways, you learned about this underserved community. You got to test, you got to apply knowledge from this organization that then led you to creating a product line for melanin skin.
I mean, I think I was always destined for it based on just like the person I am. Even in esthetician school, which is a very like not diverse place. Like aesthetics 20 years ago was about wealthy older white women. That's like your target clientele. And a lot of times in school it was mostly like white girls. And my friend group, my family group didn't reflect that. And so I was always the person in the class being like, well, how will this work on like somebody with more melanin? Or when I would bring somebody in for practicals to get like my hours, they would a lot of times be somebody with deeper skin tone. So I was always like, in order to be a good esthetician, I need to be well versed in like all skin tones. So I do think it was like there prior, but really working for them, I was like, okay, this isn't just about education. This is about like helping people and making money.
Yeah. What was that moment like from as you transitioned from that company to creating Urban Skin RX, right? Of the disbelief, the doubt, the messy middle, everything in between, right? Of you just taking that leap.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people then in the middle and now still had a problem with, you know, what I was doing. You know, I have been called cultural appropriator and, you know, had all types of accusations. And honestly, I just tuned it out because I felt like there was a huge disparity and it bothered me and it affected people I loved. And I knew what it was like growing up, not feeling comfortable in the skin I was in. It wasn't because of the color of my skin, it was because I had severe acne and was really overweight. And so I was like, how terrible would it be to not have any solutions to make myself look better, because none of these med spas are investing in the right equipment or educating their, you know, providers on how to treat it. So I was like, look, screw these naysayers. Like, people are going to either love me or hate me, and I'm going to help people, and I'm going to go to the bank, and it's going to be all good.
So then there was a shift that happened after you found that there actually is a market for this, right? And there's a customer that I'm serving for this, right? The shift came where there were customers. Your business started doing well.
Actually, from day one, it did well. Getting customers was never a problem.
Because you solved for such an area that there was a big need for. No one was talking about
Nobody was talking about it, no.
What was one of your biggest moments that happened as you were building Urban Skin RX that just made it feel like, okay, this was my mama, I made it moment?
I don't know, there's a lot of them. I mean, when Fantasia became a client, that was definitely like, took me from a certain level to like another level, because her posting and talking about Urban Skin RX brought other celebrities. And it was like, Tiana Taylor then became a client. And when she went on Instagram and held up at the Even Tone Cleansing Bar and was like, bitch, look at my skin. It was so authentic, so real. I think we did $100,000 in sales in one day. And I was like, holy shit, you know? And then Target coming along, and it was all very surreal. Lots and lots of amazing moments. A lot of hard moments. A lot of hard moments.
Oh, I know. With anything that goes well, there's a hard on the other side of that. You know, I already know so well. What would you say right now to Rachel 10 years ago?
Oh gosh, to have more confidence in yourself. I just ended up, my Achilles heel was I just kind of had a hang up about me and numbers. And my mentality was always, if I work super hard and I bring in a lot of money, then I don't have to worry about everything else, because it's just like, I'm going to make enough money and I'm going to keep growing and it's going to be okay. And that's not really the way you grow a business. And so when things started really like, we're making millions of dollars, I ended up trusting people that I shouldn't, because I just felt like I didn't have what it takes to financially like know what was best for my company. And that really ended up being the demise of Urban Skin RX.
What the confidence building tools, if you had to go back and you say, Rachel, just step into your confidence. You have everything you need right now to do what you need to do to build this business and take it to the next level right now, right? That's what you would say to the younger version of yourself.
It's just like it's not even just confidence. It's like being smart. Like, I just was not well-rounded enough. Like, and I ended up doing great. I'm retired, but like, I did more than I ever thought I would do when I started the business. I think the last 5 years I did way less than I thought I would do, you know, and so I do still struggle with like disappointment and guilt and some trauma from just like being mad at myself over decisions I made. But, you know, I just cared about product innovation, efficacy, branding, marketing, and customer service, you know, and from an operational and financial standpoint, I just really ignored it and trusted in other people. And that's not how you run a business. You do whatever it takes to educate yourself about operations and numbers, because regardless of having CFOs, COOs, like they have to, or private equity that's supposed to know what they're doing, you're still managing them, and you have to know how to hold people accountable. You have to know what KPIs to set for these people reporting to you to measure them. And so I don't know if you go get financing for dummies, you go hire like a CPA or a fractional CFO to educate you on the side, but I just didn't have my priorities in order. And even though we had great results, grew the brand, but it really did end up haunting me. It like screwing me up.
What lessons did you learn from that you're taking into this next version of you?
Oh gosh. I mean, I have to really know how to manage a P&L, and every last decision has to be made based on that P&L. And I was just like, oh, it looks good, it will be fun, that's what the customer needs, who cares, we'll figure it out. No, everything has to be plugged in, modeled out, and make sure it makes financial sense for the company. From a partnership standpoint, I had 2 different experiences with partners, and it was beyond a nightmare, beyond a nightmare. And so, one, I'm not against having partnerships, but I have to be in control. There is no situation ever in life where I do not have, I'm not chairman of the board, or I have the extra board seat. I am the top dog. I am a founder to my core. I am the decision maker. Yeah. And then just on top of that, even if you are in control, lawsuits aren't fun. Not that I had a lawsuit, but it's still not fun fighting with people. It's a waste of time. It takes away what you're there to do, which is, sell a product, enhance somebody's life. And so being just right now, I am doing due diligence with a company that seems really enticing to me, but I'm we gotta break bread, we gotta have drinks. I want to see what you guys say when you get drunk. I want to see I gotta really get to know you. Yeah. And be in control.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that I love that you shared that there was just so many moments. There's not one, right? When you're building along the journey, there's going to be so many moments of highs and lows. And your audacious moment was going into that barbershop that really changed your life.
It really did. In writing that commercial and just facing the whole thing of people don't think it's my place to do this, and I'm continually going to have to walk into a room that doesn't look like me, and that it's a natural instinct to be uncomfortable, and just bet that my authenticity and genuineness and great product is going to win people over, but it was still really hard. There was a lot of audacious moments of selling my product and knowing these people are what the hell is she doing? Who is this white girl that owns Urban Skin RX? It was a lot of, but I always tell people being a boss is about saying and doing the shit that nobody wants to do. I always talk about what I read that Steve Jobs said about the single characteristic that he really noticed in successful people, but that was the ability to ask for what they want. Yeah. And so many people just don't feel comfortable having the uncomfortable conversation, asking for what they want, walking in the room that they're scared to. And it's just I feel uncomfortable too, but I'm damn it, I gotta do this.
We gotta do it.
We gotta do it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your audacious moment. I'm so excited for folks to hear that imposter syndrome is universal.
Totally.
It can impact anyone, but what happens on the other side of it? And for anyone who says that they don't have imposter syndrome, I'm I have to side eye the hell out of you, because I don't care where you come from. Everyone feels do I belong if they're in a space and an environment that's unknown to them. Mm-hmm. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.